Here I've got the lines cut. I've used a tubing cutter. Cut this piece out. Since I got some of these foot long 3/8 inch OD rigid AC lines, and so if you look here, it should match pretty much. I'll get one of them out. What we've got going on right here. So as you can see, this one's a little long. Luckily we didn't cut out a piece longer than 12 inches, but what I'll do is I'll cut it, I'll bend it just a little bit to make it work, and then we'll put it together with our connectors. But that's what we got. Alright, let's talk about these fittings I've got to splice this thing together real quick. So what these are is another product by Dorman. It is called Line Splice, and you have to get it, of course, for the size tubing that you're working with, which in this case is 3/8. It's 3/8 OD, which that's important. And essentially what we have here is this deal here, a little piece of aluminum in the middle with two nuts, and then we've got a brass ferrule, and this green sealing sleeve is well, just that. It's a sealing, and I think it said anti-vibration is what it's used for. So at any rate, what we want to do is when we're cutting this piece of tubing, is we want to take into consideration how much this thing's going to take up. So as you can see in here, there's like a stepped hole, and so what we want to do is we want to basically take the width of this nut and account for that in the total length of the tubing. So what's going to happen is basically this thing is going to go in here, and it seats in that spot, and it works out to be, at least from the looks of it, it looks like it's right to the edge of this nut. So we want basically the width from here to here plus two of these spaces, and then that should get us pretty close, and that'll get us to where we need to be. And then I'll show you how to put these things together here in just a second once we get this tubing cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark the total length. So I'm going to put this right against the tubing on this side. And I'm going to mark right against the tubing on the other side. And then what we'll do is we'll take two lengths of this, so one be right there, and then two be right there. So that's where I'm going to cut it, is right there. All right. All right. So now we're going to put this line splice on. So we want to start with the outer nut. That goes on first, of course. Here's the brass, they call it a tension ring. It's basically what I refer to as a ferrule. It's got those slits in there, and so as it's tightened up, it's going to compress onto the line. That's what's going to hold it. So you want the tapered part to face the nut, like so. And then we have the sealing sleeve. Now, what it says to do here is coat that with mineral oil. So I went to, you know where I got it, and bought some mineral oil. And it says lubricate the line, so that's what we'll do first. I think there's such a thing as too much. And then we want to lubricate this ring. So obviously you want some clean hands when you're doing this. All right. Once you get it all lubricated, slide that on there, like so. Alright, so this is what they refer to as the coupler body. Slide that onto there. So let's see how far it should go back. So if that's pressing up against there, then it should go to the sealing ring, should just barely be sticking out. So that tells us we're all the way in. Now we're just going to take the nut, tighten it up, and I'm pushing against this just to make sure that it stays up against it all the way. Alright, so now we need to tighten it up. Now it says to put a maximum torque of 18 foot-pounds on this. I've got several torque wrenches, but I don't have any crow's feet, and it would be a pain in the butt to hold this and try to get a proper torque on it. So I'm going to go by feel. If you're somewhat uncomfortable with that, then put a torque wrench on 18 foot-pounds and go torque something else and kind of feel what that is like. Otherwise, figure out some way to get your torque wrench on there. But I'm going to take these two wrenches, and you have to be careful. Again, this is aluminum. You don't want it to you don't want to over tighten it because you'll break something, and then you'll have to start all over. Looks like a 7/8 and a 1-inch. My guess is this is probably metric, but I didn't have any open-end wrenches that are metric that's that big, and these fit pretty good, so that's what we're going to go with. So now what I want to do is I am not going to turn the body. I'm going to turn the nut. So that's pretty important. So, and at the same time, I don't want this thing to slide back off the line. So I want to make sure that we're all the way against the line. Just tighten this down. Until I feel like that it's at 15 foot-pounds or 18 or whatever it was. All right, I feel like that's good. Do I know for sure that it's 18 foot-pounds? No, but you know, as I pull on it, it does not appear it's going anywhere. So I feel pretty good about that. All right, so now I got myself. Now I'm second guessing myself. All right. We're gonna go with that because again, that's aluminum, and I don't want to break anything or strip anything out. All right, so now I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And then hopefully the piece that we cut is going to fit right in there. That remains to be seen, but here goes. All right, so this is the piece. Fits much better. Looks like that'll just about do it. Couldn't ask for much better. So now we're going to take our nuts, we're going to put those on. All right, we're going to take our ferrules, compression sleeve, whatever you want to call it. And these are going to face, again, the nut, but they're obviously the opposite direction than what these were facing when we put those on. So now we have nut, two ferrules, and then while my wife was trying to talk with me, I went ahead and lubricated these with mineral oil. That on here, that on here, and so it should look just like so. Alright, I'm going to put just a little bit more mineral oil on here. Even though these nuts are the same, I want to make sure that one of them is a little bit newer looking than the other as far as the color goes. I want to make sure I make the right nut with the right body. Alright, so now we're going to have to bend this just a little bit to get it in, as you can see. So I'm going to take the one that's the most rigid, stick it in there first, and then let's see if we can bend this out enough. There we go. Get that in there like so. There we go. How about that? Alright, so now we just need to put it together. So this goes here, this goes here, like so. That goes there, that goes there, that goes here like so. As I still tighten it. Alright, I'm leaving it at that. Alright, there we go. That's it. The extension's in. We're ready for a leak test. So what we're going to do is the exact same thing we did when we found the leak. Is we're going to fill the system full of air. Again, using Scanner Danner's method. And then we'll use of course, the soapy water with about 100 and some odd psi of air in it, and see if we get any air bubbles. If not, I think we can call this puppy done. air hose here. Hopefully the air compressor won't kick on while I'm doing this, but if it does, then just bear with me. A very important rubber tip hose. Otherwise you'll never get the air in it. So basically you want to just open this enough on the low side to get air into it. And you want to keep filling it up until it goes to hopefully 100, 110, 120. Very hard to do this. Alright, so we've got 90 pounds of air pressure in it. You can see that's very hard because you want to open this valve, put the air in it, and then close the valve before the air escapes. So good sign is my air, I'm not losing any air like a bunch, so that's a good that's a good sign. So now we need to take our soapy water, which I've got still right here. I guess you could probably just shake it up. I'll probably add a little bit of water into it to get it all bubbly again. All right, so now we're back here at our connection. We've got our soapy water. We're just going to spray this with soapy water and look for air bubbles. And it's probably best to get all up around that. Just want to make sure that we don't have any air escaping there. I do not see any air bubbles. That makes me very, very happy. I think we've got a airtight system. That's what we want to see. All right, I'm going to let the air out of it and vacuum the system. All right, guys, we're all done. At the end of the day, just in time to go in and get washed up and have a bite to eat. So we got this thing taken care of. There wasn't any leaks you saw when we did the bubble test. So I put an ounce of oil back in it just in case we lost a little bit, since the system did completely drain. And then since we've got a front and rear system, the thing took about 30 ounces, I believe. So we got about three and some change cans of the 12-ounce Freon cans, the R134, put back in it, and it's cold as ice. So I think we're in good shape. The one thing I will say about this scenario is with this hard line and these connectors, you know, you've got 4 compression points that is potential for leak. Now I did have an option to get just a length that was crimped, and then you only had to do the compression fittings on each end, meaning there was only two compression points, and then the rest of it was like a pre-made hose, if you will. But that was a rubber hose, and in this case where it's at, as you can see with it right next to the exhaust, I didn't feel like that was a good option. But you know, with care, you saw that even with the 4 places there that we've got to make the connections, it'll work if you just, you know, take your time and go at it methodically. So we're in good shape. Mama's happy now. She's got air conditioner again, and I think we're good to wrap this up. If you would, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get it off the ground, and I hadn't quite got enough subscribers yet to get over the 500 mark, and so I'm trying. That's my first goal. And if you would hit that button and help me out. Thanks a lot. Bye.